Hey friends, welcome back to Dawkins Family Farm. Today's video is going to be a little different. Yesterday was our big launch of our Facebook page and Instagram for the flower meadow. So it was a really big day around here. We're super excited about providing a flower meadow full of blooms for our area, our town, Tulsa, and the surrounding areas. We're about 20 minutes from Tulsa, so we're in an area that can draw a lot of visitors from the city that want to get out into the country and just enjoy a slower pace for a few hours, to wander into the meadow, to go on an adventure and search out unique blooms that they want to take home and enjoy for the rest of the week. So that is our goal. We want to provide opportunities for people to have date nights and picnics and just to make memories with each other. We always say things like, go do something you love with the people you love. And a lot of times that's just, it's such a crazy fast-paced life that we live. If we can provide an opportunity for people to do that in their lives, and we want to be able to do that and just bring some joy to people and to make memories so they can remember when we went to the flower meadow and we looked around. I wonder what's blooming now. Let's go back and enjoy some time together, whether that be on an afternoon or an early summer morning before it gets too hot, and just make some memories together and then have a token to take home with them, like a beautiful bouquet. So anyway, so yesterday was the very first day we planted seeds. We sowed seeds into soil blocks and put them under grow lights and heat mats, and we are expecting those, if they work, to bloom late summer. We sowed Lysianthus seeds, which are tiny little specks. I'll put a picture up here. Like, they're yellow pelleted seeds, which means basically that they have an outer covering around the seed that was manufactured, and basically it's kind of like a pill that you take with water, and the outside kind of melts away for the medicine that's inside. Well, same thing with the seed. They put a covering around it so that's more manageable to handle, because the seeds are really that tiny that it's almost impossible to handle otherwise. So they come pelleted, and you sow them in the soil blocks and then water them in and put a covering over them to keep them hydrated, and just let them sit. And by let them sit, I mean 10 to 15 days before we even start to hope to see any kind of green emerging from the soil. So they take forever. They're going to test our patience. We are going to be hovering over those little babies and hoping that they bloom. I'm going to show you what Lysianthus looks like when they are harvested. They are gorgeous blooms, and they are some of my very personal favorites. And so if this process works, I will be overjoyed to be able to share this with the people that have invested their time to come out to the farm and to search for the flowers. So today, though, we are going to start sowing another seed that is a long grower. This one, I may have totally mistaken buying it. It's delphinium, and the more I read about it, the more I realize it's probably not for our zone, but we're gonna try because I have the seed and you can't send the seeds back. So we might as well try and to grow some. Part of the reason I think that the flower meadow fits in the homesteading realm of video creators is that gardening definitely fits, but most people do home gardens with vegetables, and we will have some of that for sure. Grant will be in charge of that. He loves his tomatoes and strawberries and all those things, so we'll definitely have some of that for sure. But I think living off the land also as a way of providing income or extra income to make your life more sustainable is using the resources that you have. And for us, the flower meadow is land that we had. And the resources, we have Grant's parents who are master gardeners. They have the Oak Grove Garden. They're on Facebook or Instagram, and she is a wealth of information that I go to regularly. And so Grant grew up with around flowers and knowing things about them, and so he already had that as his background. And we have the time and the ability and the interest in being outside and in nature. So I think if you combine all those things together, the flower meadow just really makes sense for us. I love flowers a lot more than I love vegetables. So some people love their vegetables. I really work at it. So but I don't have to work at loving flowers. So that is the vein I fall into when it comes to gardening. So the flower meadow it is, and I am so excited. I think over the years, I am also a photographer. I have photographed newborn babies for a long time, 14 years at least. And over that course of time, I can't believe they're like almost full-fledged teenagers about to learn to drive, those first babies. But I've met a lot of great people along the way, and moms who are just starting out in their parenthood, and dads and their excitement over their babies. And my favorite thing is when they're in the photography studio, is just getting to meet them, know them, hear their story. And I think that will be very relatable to the flower meadow. Where it's a you-pick venue, so we're inviting people out to the farm and just to get to meet people, hear their story. A lot of flowers evoke memories. And so just getting to hear people's memories about, oh, I remember this flower, or this smell, or this aroma, growing up in my grandmother's garden or my mom's garden, or those kind of things. Also just their stories of why they're coming out. Are they making memories to keep and cherish, or they providing comfort for someone who's ill? I'm going to pick a bouquet of flowers to take as a gift, to continue to spread joy onward. Or even a funeral, you know, those still happen, and flowers still have a meaning there. And so I'm just ready to hear people's stories and engage with them, and yeah, just bring a little light and love to the people that come out and have invested the time to do that with us. So that is the goal. All right, so today we're going to do a little soil blocking. I shared this over on Instagram on the Flower Meadow Instagram page. So if you haven't followed it already, will you please go over there and follow it for me? It's also on Facebook. I'm working to get at least 25 followers on Facebook. It's brand new yesterday. So that way we can change the little handle to actually be the Flower Meadow. But we're hoping to get all of that done and get the word out there. So you can help me with that. But first we're going to use our soil. Great thing is today is cold. It's freezing. Yesterday it was like 65 degrees and warm and the sun was shining. Today it is dreary and cold. And all right, so there you go. There is 40 seed blocks. This tray is just a tad bit small. So the next tray, I went ahead and ordered the next set of trays and got the size that was a little bit longer so that all of them fit. But like you can see, I just took them apart. These are individual little blocks. So when we go to transplant them, they can go straight into the garden if it's that type. If we need to go up a size, they have a soil blocker that's bigger, and the little dibbler that points down into the bigger one is exactly this size. So all you do is stick it in the next big size up, and there you've transplanted. So it makes it super easy. All right, so we'll put those up. Okay, so here we have 20, 40 minus 4, 40, 36 little trays. Okay, so we're going to get our seeds. A lot of people recommend Johnny's. It's a great place to go to get your seeds. But do read the back, because like I said, I'm not sure that delphinium is going to do very well here. I actually heard podcasts today say that larkspur does better in the south, which we are in, than delphinium. So this may not work. Some of this is going to be a lot of trial and error until we figure it out. And then once we figure out the seeds that work best in our area, we will focus on them and provide plenty of blooms for that. So, but since we have the seeds and they are not returnable, we're going to go ahead and sow them. All right. These seeds are tiny, but not as tiny as Lisianthus. All right, so there is all of our seeds. You can see right there. And the thing about delphinium, it says right here on the package that beware, all parts of delphinium are poisonous, including the seeds. So this is definitely something you don't want to eat. But, okay, so I have a cup of water that I've been using to wet the soil. So I'm just gonna take it, get the toothpick, a little bit wet, and yesterday on the Instagram stories I said it's science, but it has something to do with, oh, Grant reminded me last night, he said something about water attracts to water. So if you get your toothpick wet, it'll pick up the seed and then you can place it in the soil block. Because they are wet, the seed will go into there. It has a name. So it has a name, but I, again, forgot because it's not my thing to remember right now. So, okay, so there is a seed. If you can see it on there. I'm not sure it'll even focus. Very tiny and brown. I liked yesterday's seeds. They were yellow and you could see what you did with them. The seed is brown. As soon as you stick it in the dirt, it's like disappears. Okay, so here is our seed tray and we're just going to plop it right there in that little divot and it's done. And let's see if we can get another one. All right, so there is another one. Right there. And we'll just put in the second one. They are so tiny and invisible that honestly, I had a hard, once you put them in the soil, it's hard to see them. So the first tray I did today, I had to keep track. Anytime I looked up or got sidetracked or anything, I had to remember which row I was on because I couldn't find it. It's literally the same color as the soil. But that is it. So I will continue to do this. I think that's the row I was on. And as soon as I finish, I'll show you the next step of the process. What is your favorite flower? Call this research, market research. Put it in the comments, let me know. What is your favorite flower and why? And do you have a memory associated to that favorite flower that makes it your favorite? Is it something that's just beautiful? Is it something you've grown up remembering? Something around that flower, a memory that's associated to it? Or is it the aroma? What makes it your favorite? I will always think of red roses when I think of my grandmother. She used to have a chain link fence in her backyard and she grew these fabulous red roses that grew up on a fence. And I still remember that. They had this really fun playhouse. Oh no, I don't know where I am. This might just get too. And we used to play on it all the time. And around the perimeter of her backyard were these beautiful climbing roses that grew on her chain link fence. And they were gorgeous. So I think about that often. At our very first house, when Grant and I got married, He used to buy me a climbing rose for every anniversary. It was really, really sweet. Or Mother's Day, I think Mother's Day was what it was. Of course, we've moved twice since then, so I'm not sure what those roses look like, and they were in the backyard, so I can't peek over and see if they're even still there. Who knows? But that was something that was really sweet. All right, so we're about to wrap up. I have 2 seeds left. I think I drenched that one too much. Come on, little baby. Okay. Okay, friends, we are finished. So here is the 2 trays of soil blocks. There's 100 delphinium. No, there's 50 here and then 50 at the one I already made. So it's 100 delphinium as a trial. Let's just see if it works. You know, sometimes some of these things are gonna work and some are not, and that's okay. Keep telling myself that to learn you gotta try, and sometimes it will turn out as the best experiment ever, and other times it will just be a flop and you'll learn and move on. We can just cross that one off our list if it doesn't work and focus on other things that are strengths. So this is one that I'm not that busy right now sowing seeds. We still have a couple weeks before we really get into the heavy seed sowing. So if I had the time, I might as well just experiment and see. This is Delphinium Cherry Blossom. It does take 105 to 125 days to bloom, and it takes 10 to 20 days at 80 degrees to germinate. So it might be 10 to 20 days before we actually see any kind of green emerging from the soil. So it will definitely test your patience, this whole gardening, flower farming thing. But good things come to all those who wait. So here we are waiting. All right, I'm gonna go upstairs and put these under the lights. Just to clarify, we are only growing flowers here, and these are poisonous. So anyway, and then I have to go give some compost to the chickens. So if you want to come along and check on them with me, I'd love to have you. It is just not fair. I sat out here at the patio yesterday sowing seeds. It was like 65 degrees and so warm. And then look at us today. I'm freezing with a coat on. It's awful. All right, I'm gonna grab some scratch to give them to. They're such happy little birds. They don't care that it's freezing out here. They're just running around their little run and flapping their wings and playing outside. I think that's one reason I like chickens so much. That, and they're super easy. As long as you can keep them. Look what Luke did. He's collecting their feathers. Made this little adornment for them. All right. Hey girls! And Stormy. Yeah, let's not forget you. All right, are y'all ready for some treats? Yeah, you ready? Hey, Lightning. And Luna, my girls. Yep, you want it? You want it? Straight out of the bucket? What do you think? Oh, it's a bucket of goodness. Yeah, get that in there. Oh. Stormy, you want some? No. Luna, you gonna try? What do you think? There you go. You can do it. Oh, good job. I know it. It's good stuff in there. All right, let's spread it out for y'all. Ugh. We just put all the waste, all the food waste in there. And there they go. Happy as can be. y'all are kind of stuck. The wind has blown that door closed. This was the original door to, or the door to the original run before we expanded it, so the wind has blown that open. Alright, girls. It is too cold for me to stay outside very long. These, the speckleds, don't have a name yet, but there's Star. Let's see, right there. Well, that's Luna. And there's Star. Star is her baby. And that's Cream Puff right there. I know it. And then we have two of them. They're the gold-laced Wyandottes, and Grant just calls them the twins. They're very hard to tell apart. And there is Pigeon. Just a little squirt. I'm not sure. She's the one that we had to help out of the egg. And she's really been stunted, so I'm not sure she would have survived if we didn't help her. So, and I'm not sure she's ever going to really lay or anything. Well, goodness gracious. Star? What's up? But you can see, like, Pigeon just is like this little tiny thing compared to everybody else. She just really hasn't ever really grown very much. That's the one I think is beautiful. I think Grant calls her Oreo. All right, well, that is it for today. Thanks for following along as we start the flower meadow and seed starting and gardening and checking on the chickens with me. We're headed into a busy weekend. We have lots of things in store. Caroline is going to be a ball girl at the high school basketball game, so that's going to be really fun. And then 3 kids have basketball games of their own in 3 different towns. Plus we have another hog show, so hopefully Grant will get to video that, at least for me, if not for y'all too, as she goes and has her second hog show with Cookie and shows Cookie off to the world. Man, I'd give her first place every time for her personality, for sure, and her likability, but really all they're looking for is their meat quality. So anyway, it's a whole different world when it comes to FFA and showing animals. It's not for their cute likability. So anyway, but I hope she does well. They've been walking and practicing and all those things, so hopefully the weekend will turn out great and we will get to update you for Monday's video on how it all turned out. So stay tuned for that. If you haven't liked or subscribed to the YouTube channel, we'd love for you to do that. It helps us grow and gets our channel out to more people that they can watch it as well. And if you want updates as we go along the week, be sure to check us out on Instagram stories. I put a lot of updates on there as well. So anyway, I hope you get to do something you love with the people that you love this weekend, and God bless. We'll see you next time.